Hey guys, right, I'm the Guitar Ninja. I've been teaching guitar for over 16 years and I'm here to tell you not to practice. So how often I go on the internet and I look at these guitar forums and Facebook pages and all things like that, and the main thing I see is, how do I get good without practicing? Or how can I get better with only 10 minutes a day of practice? How can I best practice this grind to get good? It's stupid to ask those questions. I didn't get good at guitar by practicing. Now I know this sounds weird and it's really contradictory, and yes, I suppose in some way it's a slight clickbaity sound, but I promise you this does make sense. So at some point when I was around 12 years old, I ended up getting my first electric guitar. I thought it was awesome. I ran up to my room, plugged it into this little rubbish amp that I had, and instantly pretended to rock out on stage playing that one riff everyone learned at the beginning, Smoke on the Water. Now I whacked the gain up, I put my foot up on the something that was in my room, I don't remember what, like a footstool, and I was like, yeah, let's rock this out. I'm going to pretend that I'm headlining Download Festival because I was into metal and that was the festival for metalheads. So I went into my room, put my foot up, was like, how's everybody doing? Woo! Yeah! Woo! I started rocking out, full energy. I was on that stage. I closed my mind? Woo! I closed my eyes and I was there, rocking out on the main stage of Download with everyone cheering back at me, playing these basic 3 notes. This then got me revved up enough, it was time to learn the main riff to Enter Sandman because Metallica was just the metal band. At that age, that was all I knew. That was like the heaviest music that existed. So I learned the Enter Sandman riff. Yes, okay, there was perhaps some format of practice to learn it, but it didn't take that long to get the basic concept into memory. I wasn't trying to learn the whole song, I learned that main do, and then all of a sudden it was back to pretending I was on that stage, now rocking out with Metallica. So now I had a couple of riffs under my belt and I could rock out on the main stage, and then I got introduced to Pantera. Now if you don't know who Pantera are and you're interested in guitar, go and listen to some right now. The Cowboys from Hell album is one of my favourites, so check out the songs from that. They did a Reinventing the Hell, which is like their greatest hits, and Vulgar Display of Power was also another really popular one. Now after hearing Dimebag and his crazy squeals, I was like, I need to learn how to make my guitar make these sounds. I didn't care about learning a Pantera song at that time. I was just like, I need to work out how to make this squeal. Now these were pre-YouTube days, believe it or not, so I couldn't even just go on YouTube and look for how to squeal a guitar. Luckily, my brother-in-law was awesome at guitar as well and into the same styles of music, and he introduced me to a bridge called the Floyd Rose. Don't worry, we're getting to why we don't practice, I promise. But because I was only 14, I had no chance of getting the money together to buy an electric guitar with a Floyd Rose. But I was doing design tech at school. I managed to make a guitar with a Floyd Rose, which is this one, just about here. Boom! And it also has to have a clear background so they could mark it for the grade. So now it just turned into a game of how many stupid noises could I make on my guitar. I learned how to make power chords, so every single song, every single note, even if it wasn't meant to, got turned into a power chord song. I also learned how to play my minor pentatonic scale in its first position, and every single thing that I could find what note it was based around, which when listening to Metallica pretty much everything's in E, I would just go up to the E on the 12th fret and go up and down the minor pentatonic, playing around, just seeing if I could do it at speed and keep in time with the music. Then, as I started to progress more and more at guitar, other ideas came into my mind. Things like, can I make Metallica sound like it's swing, or pop, or pop punk, and things like this, and I would just experiment and play around. And this is the point I'm trying to drill. Play, not practice. Okay, so I can just imagine the comment section right now. Playing is practicing, blah 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 blah. Yes, it is, but let me get to the point on what I'm saying here. If you think you need to sit down for an hour and grind the same scale up and down, or the same 10-note riff up and down while staring at the tab, there's no enjoyment in that. Every time you practice, the word practice to me makes it feel like a chore. It feels like it's homework. And that's how so many people treat it. That's why you get that question, how do I get good without practicing? You don't. It's as simple as that. But you don't need to practice in that boring, methodical way. Instead, experiment, play, let your curiosity get you. Enjoy the challenge. Don't think about the end goal of, I want to be the next Jimi Hendrix or the next Eddie Van Halen or the next Slash if you think he's actually that amazing. Instead, start thinking, can I do this with my guitar? Be it playing it behind your head, making it do a weird squealy sound. Perhaps it's even sound effects. Can you do like the Queen sound from Mario? Can you make your guitar sound like a seagull? There's so many stupid things that you can do that are far more fun, and the crazy thing is, you learn so much from it. For instance, if you're pretending to rock out on stage, you are not looking at the guitar neck the whole time that you're playing. You're also standing up when you're playing. That gets you doing very different hand reaches and wrist angles. Now, when I'm learning how to do these random squeals and sound effects, I'm learning about natural harmonics, pinch harmonics, about other random techniques like slides and things like that that I can then incorporate into my music. When I'm playing around with a scale, just seeing if I can find something that fits, I'm learning about scales and tonality without necessarily knowing all the nerdy jargon, but I'm physically getting the playtime in. My hands, every single time I'm playing, I'm building up that connection between the brain and the fingers, making myself a faster, better, more controlled musician, even if whilst I'm playing around it all sounds sloppy and messy. And every single time you are making these messy, stupid noises, you're learning how not to do them as well. Learning what to do and what not to do. Like, I played around trying to get the worst sounding fret buzz sounds, and by doing so I learned exactly what the opposite is to get the cleanest notes the easiest. See, playing around really is just helpful. You learn so much, you're in an enjoyable mood, you're in a more relaxed mood so things get done better. That's, for instance, why I'm not doing a practice with me video right now, because those videos weren't getting a huge amount of views. My energy wasn't really in them either. I do like the challenge of seeing how fast I can get with a metronome, but I don't enjoy doing the slower speeds. There's no challenge, there's no game, there's no fun to that. And that was the problem. It should all be focused around fun. Why play and not practice? Why am I so strict on this? Well, first of all, you should check out the video, I'll put a link below, by Mark Robber, all about the Mario effect, or Super Mario effect. It's about how you can learn so much more by gamifying things and focusing on the goal and what you're doing and not worrying about the failures and deaths. Play, we can go wrong 100 times and we don't have a problem. Practice, we go wrong and it's a failure. It's like the school system telling you off for learning. No, you're learning when you make these mistakes and you're having fun doing it. So play. Next, the pretending to be on stage thing, the trying to be a show-off is a great thing to do. You don't look at the neck, you're standing up, you're moving around whilst playing. You learn so much from those aspects of play. I personally really enjoy challenges, and so do a lot of kids. I think as adults, we learn that if we don't manage it, it's a failure, but as a kid, the challenge itself is fun. So this is what I like to do with guitar. That's why I enjoy these metronome challenges, but they have to be a challenge. I don't just want to go up 5 BPM from something that was easy. I want to see, can I reach 200 BPM? And if I can, well, can I do this with eighth notes? You know, just simple things that give me this sense of challenge and fun. The can I do it question is always the one I enjoy the most. So what can we do to make it easier to play guitar more often without it feeling like a structured practice? I can't speak. The answer is actually a lot easier than you might think. First of all, wherever you spend the majority of your time, make sure a guitar is within an arm's reach of that point. Simple. Make sure you've got a floor guitar stand or a wall rack within, that was really hard to say, a wall rack, well within an arm's reach of where you tend. Could be a lean, but should never be more than that. Secondly, make sure it's never in its case unless you are transporting it. At least your main guitar. If you've got other ones, fair enough. But at least one should always be out of its case, within arm's reach. And if you've got an electric guitar, that should be plugged straight into the amp, ready to just flick it on and pick it up. The reason this one is so vital is going out of your way to find the guitar, get it out of its case, then pick it up. You've already spent a couple of minutes doing that. That's a couple of minutes of effort that people don't tend to want to put in or even think about. But if your guitar's there in view, when a YouTube advert comes on that's 15 seconds and you can't skip it, pick up the guitar and play it for 15. Because it's within arm's reach and it's out of its case and you can see it, you're going to probably do that without even really thinking. I definitely found the guitar on my lap at times when I had no idea that was going to happen. Huh? When did I pick this up? So for another point you never expect to hear from a guitar teacher, the next one is don't have such a strict practice structure. Don't go, I'm going to practice for an hour every single Sunday and half an hour every single evening. No, there's no need for that if you're enjoying it and it's fun. You're just going to pick up the guitar and play anyway, especially if it's within arm's reach. Now, if it's in a case, if it's in another room, if it's further away from you than standard reaching distances, then you might need to put some format of structure in place to force you to pick up that guitar. But then, that structure makes it feel like practice and a chore and like guitar homework, and not like play. And the whole point is it should just be fun and exciting the whole time. If the passion isn't there, it's just going to be a chore. You're never going to feel like you're good enough because you're looking for perfection and not enjoying the journey that you are on. The next thing to do is to fully immerse yourself. Watch other YouTubers, go onto sites like Ultimate Guitar where you can see thousands of tabs and just learn little things. Gamified stuff. I learned the Simpsons theme tune and Tetris and game songs from Pokemon Red and all sorts. If I enjoyed it and it was fun, especially these small things instead of full songs, I got the most enjoyment. I practiced them without thinking of it as practice and got better at guitar just by learning these little things over full songs. If I can play the chords through quick enough to keep in time with a song, why do I need to learn another song with that same sort of speed and similar chords? I know how to do that. There's no game, there's no challenge. It's like boring. The last thing is to find supportive people and show off to them. Now, I was very lucky. I had a mum that would listen to some of my terrible stuff at the beginning and know that I'd made some progress, so would give me compliments. It didn't matter that it wasn't great. She at least noticed that there was progress, and therefore I got positive reinforcement for making some progress and getting better, and for me, showing off was part of the game. Yes, I'm an extrovert, and yes, I'm a bit of a show-off, so it is easier for me than perhaps other people. That might not be your way of finding it fun and playful, but I definitely did, and it just made it so much more fun. So gamifying it and being able to show off are awesome. So in conclusion, go get your guitar, get it out of its case, make sure it's within arm's reach of where you spend most of your time, let your curiosity and playfulness go, grab something either weird, fun, quirky, experimental, ask yourself a random question. You know what, can I do this? And just give it a go. Make it as playful as possible and then find people that will enjoy that fun, sherry process of music. This is why I love improvising, because I can jam with anybody. And even if they're not used to improvising, I can show them a few basic chords and then still jam with them. And it's just sharing the experience. It's part of the play and not the chore. Now, whilst you are playing around and you're playing around with your scales and you find an awesome little riff, or you're playing around with your chords and you find a sequence that you think sounds really good, the worst thing is forgetting it. So it's always worth having a blank tab book with you to fill things in. There's a link below to these ones. It's got a contents page and page numbers so you can track exactly where your notes are super quick. With 118 pages of tabs, then you've got chord graphs, scale diagrams, and notes as well, so you can throw anything you need into this book and have all your notes in one place. So check out the link below to grab one of these. You might be asking why, as a guitarist and a guitar teacher, I would tell people not to practice. You think that that would be undoing my business. Not at all. I think the point of a guitar teacher is, one, to help inspire people to want to pick up the guitars, and two, to just be a source of information and guidance. If a student's like, I don't really know what to do at the moment, I can give them some creative ideas. If they come to me saying, I'm doing this and I'm struggling, can you help me? Yes, 100%. My job should be here to answer the questions more than go, here's a structured thing that you don't know or care about that I'm going to make you practice over and over and over and over and over. So my main job really is to help people get over those things. Hey, I decided I really wanted to learn this because it's fun, and it's got this weird little squiggly thing in the tab. What does that mean? Well, that's a trill, my friend. You know what, I've been doing a load of improvising and I've come across this weird thing called modes. Can you explain those to me? Of course I can. And it's all about that kind of thing where I should be a big encyclopedia. I should basically be the guitar Google for my students where they can go, I know where I'll get an answer. Now, obviously, the beginner section, I've got a clear structure that I take people through. I mean, for anybody that knows me with Guitar Ninja, the reason we got Ninja in the name is because we took that grading system of going through coloured straps, coloured belts into coloured guitar straps. So I have a structure there available for those that need it and want it. And you can even check these things out online. There's a Guitar Ninja Academy with 200 plus video lessons already on there, taking you through all of these things. But also in those grades, it inspires improvisation and getting your technique toolbox full, basically. You know, if you know how to do hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides and bends, that's great because you can use those in your play, in your improvisation, in your jamming, or even when you want to learn a song that's just fun for you. For instance, there might be bends in a solo that you want to learn, or harmonics in a technique you want to play around with. So that's what we're here for as guitar teachers, in my personal opinion. Do you agree with what I'm saying or not? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm actually quite intrigued to see what people think about this. I personally agree completely with what I've said, hence the reason why I said it, but I'm open-minded to see what other people say. Perhaps there's something that I missed that you think is really playful, or something that's also important to include in this. Now, I'm lucky that my sense of play, I enjoy a challenge. So that's always going to push me to become a better guitarist, but still enjoy the process itself. So if you took anything positive away from this video at all, please give us that thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. I'm looking forward to this channel growing so I can do more with it. I'm just as excited about this as I am about my guitar playing, and I'd love to see you in a new video soon. Thank you so much for checking this out, and I'll catch you later. Bye!